Good morning. We're joined by Mrs. Sudhakar, the Associate General Manager at HCL Chennai.
Hello,
Uh,
hi.
Mrs. Mrs. Sudhakar, could you please give us a brief about your line of work and what it entails?
All these 25 years, I've been part of managing teams which manage, develop, and support. When we say develop, is a developing software. So, in a nutshell, I do the software development. I belong to apps and SI team of HCL.
So, the first major outbreak of COVID started in February 2020. Was HCL able to anticipate a lockdown before the actual lockdown was implemented? And if so, how did they prepare for it?
So we know that lockdown is coming,
Hmm.
but we do not know exactly when it is going to come. And at least I'd say 2 weeks before we started to all our DR disaster recovery team has been initiated activities, and every team has been requested to
Hmm.
check their ways of working, right? Meaning, if the person is going to work from home, what are the steps to be done? Number one, number two, number three, in terms of logistics, right? All those things being taken care. And my team, of course, even in spite of all those things, the lockdown came as a surprise. I think it was Monday or Tuesday morning. We all know that we got only one day. I think a notice that from today evening, it's going to be locked down. My team was at office, and we have people from North Madras. Some of them are girls. So we set up including myself, everybody was setting up the laptops or desktop, whatever available. Since we had to do some configurations systemically, and we bought the dongles, Wi-Fi dongles,
Right.
and got auto rickshaw or two-wheeler, or the people came from their house to pick up their people. Lot of things have done. We had maybe few hours we could not able to support. We have depend on our onshore people that time. Onshore we have a team. I was managing a UK customer that time, and I was the head of IT for that company.
Hmm.
It's an insurance company where we are supporting closer to million policies, right? My onshore team picked it up for a couple of hours, and within few hours our team came up online, and we started to manage without any issues.
Now, we know that HCL as a company, it creates apps to help other corporations effectively manage their own application portfolios, right?
Right.
And now, with the pandemic forcing basically all firms or most firms to online platforms, how have HCL's sales and performances increased, or how have they become better?
Okay, I would say maybe specifically the upward movement was very visible in healthcare practices, where there is a direct positive impact, or maybe in business wise, for this pandemic. There's lots of queries in the digital market, right? Primarily mobile technologies and IoTs, it's all picked it up, and lot of that's a heavy surge of new business in the healthcare side. So I would say maybe we have grown compared to other verticals. We have multiple verticals in HCL. Last year, healthcare was the biggest saw the biggest growth. Somewhere I think the revenue or top line wise, we grew 30+% compared to other verticals. There's the highest growth in HCL.
And before you talk about how HCL were prepared for employees not being able to come to actual work, but how do you think employee relations and relationships between different employees were affected because of the loss of physical contact in the work?
Yes, there is definitely an impact. Naturally, when there is a conflict, see, if you see, especially the IT industry, we don't depend on machines, and it's everybody is, it's all comes from individual, right? So
Hmm.
individuals are our assets.
Right.
So their minds, their sentiments, their stress levels, the way how they are keeping up themselves physically, mentally, that reflects in their work. So in that sense, there's a lot of challenges, especially when it comes to onboard any new people. when any is there any conflicts, is there any challenges, emotional issues, since the proximity of face to face was missing. We did have some issues, so everybody handled it differently. The way I handled was, maybe that may be your next question. So way I handled was, so I used to contact, my team was closer to 100 members at that time. So
Okay.
almost every day I talk to my managers. There are three managers for me. Every day I talk to them. I kind of insist them, especially people wherever they are comfortable, come to on video call, so that I see them. And
Okay.
similarly, they also have their next line people. They meet. I have told them at least see them once in 2 days. At least see them in face to face. Otherwise, that physical connect will go away. So we had problems, but we managed that way. And also, there are some guys are good in advising how to handle stress.
Hmm.
There are some people who are specialized in that. They did some degrees in our company. So I have invited them. There is an AVP who's good in it. He has given a session that how the lockdown is mentally impacting us, how to
Hmm.
address it. So that our team has gone through that 2 times. So that kind of helped us that what's happening around and how to handle it.
Like we've been talking before this interview, you've been facing a lot of constant work and pressure and stress with regarding to meetings and constant calls. But how do you manage to spend time with your loved ones and your family?
It's a good question, and I still struggling sometimes. But see, it's all about priorities, right? It's all about priorities. How set your priorities. So I'm interested in. I developed a habit of running. So as much as possible, I just do 5Ks or 10Ks every alternate day, and that kind of
Mm.
helped me physically. And since working from home, one fine part is we always be closer to our families. So whenever I find time, I used to spend time with my boys and
Mm.
with my wife. So that's kind of helping me balancing physical and emotional side of it. And weekends, as much as possible, I'll keep it free. I'll keep it
Mm.
open so that I can talk to my friends. I can do little more kilometer on my running,
Right,
right? And more time with family. So it's all about priorities.
right, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, at the time of the interview being recorded, the unemployment rate in India has risen over 7% since the start of February 2020. Did you or your employees' job securities ever pose a threat to you, or were you ever insecure about it?
See, it is not the matter of insecurity. See, when it comes to the private companies, especially IT companies, whatever our achievements, right, did yesterday, it ends yesterday, right?
Mm.
The today is a new day, so
Right.
you have to prove, you have to do your activities to the best of your abilities to
Mm.
keep things relevant, and you are here to keep your um, skills, right, soft skills and technical skills, always keep it current, so that
Mm.
you're always relevant to your job and your company, so you don't have to worry about that at all. So that is what I'm also telling my team to be always be on a spend at least 10% of your time for your personal development, right? Especially
Mm.
very specifically to the area which is going to help you in your work front, right? So that's what I'm telling. So
Right.
people follow, definitely they have no problems. There's if you have seen now, we are looking for people, we are not getting people, we are
Okay.
not able to get the people. So it's not
Mm.
about not having the job, it is about how relevant, how employable we are, making ourselves more employable. So it is
Mm.
not just the studies, we have to make ourselves employable in terms of soft skills and
Mm.
the relevant skills, Pavan.
Right. Okay. Now, we talked about how HCL prepared for COVID and how HCL as a company helped their own employees to get over COVID with different management skills and different techniques. But were there any which you personally had to make? to improve your own team performances or your own?
I told you, right? I responded to you, I guess.
Right.
So I did, invited some of the experts in the field to give a speech to my team, and I personally talked to them. And if anybody is out of COVID, I used to talk to them at least one day, at least every day, one time. Personally, I talk to them about whether they or their parents are sick. So it's all about, maybe I I made sure that I talked to them, and I spent some time for that. So that way, I feel that that would have helped them to get through this. And I also heard from some of the people that helped them emotionally.
Okay. Finally, Mrs. Sudhakar, is there any sort of message you would like to convey to the next line of workers or the upcoming line of workers, such as myself?
Okay. Oh, no, definitely. Uh, see, study whatever you feel you are interested. It is not
Mhm.
like those days. No, there are opportunities only in specific fields. It is not like that today. Even in, if you're interested Tamil, there are a lot of real good Tamil scholars are required, or
Mhm.
English literature, Tamil literature, history, any field.
Mhm.
There are opportunities. Only thing is you have to really take it to your heart, and you have to really enjoy, and you have to should not be superficial, should be really go to the depth of it. Number one. Number two, social skills, which is kind of very much lacking. You have to develop it, having
Mhm.
go out, meet people physically, and reduce
Mhm.
gadgets, mobile phones and other things. Maybe you can't avoid it, but reduce it, so that you will not be physical contact. Fourth thing is keep your body fit. Do
Mhm.
exercise, be part of any of the games or whatever you like. That's what I wanted to
Right.
say. Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Saka, for your time. This interview has actually helped me gain a lot of insight on how code has affected like a manager such as yourself and also your subordinates as well. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you, Pawan. Wish you all the best. It was so nice talking to you. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.